Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and we're finally down to making the arbor to hold the gear cutters. And here's the little package. I've had this for about a year because I was going to use it to make a arbor for a slitting saw. This is supposed to have a soft end here where I can machine it to fit whatever I want. And what I want is I want it to fit these little guys right there. That's 22 millimeters in the middle, which is supposed to be around an inch. You can see what I'm going to put together, and it should be, well, it'd be an easy job for a real machinist, but for a redneck it's probably going to be reasonably difficult. And I think that what we ought to do now is just go ahead and get started on it. Alright, so I'm going to start out by making myself a I'm going to start out by making myself a center for this end. And I guess the first step is to get something to go in the jaws right. Whoa! Didn't have the belt tight. Alright, I'm going to set the compound on 30 degrees so I can make a nice 60-degree cut. I think have a nice 60-degree point. That makes sense. We will resume shortly. Alright, the plan here is to make successive cuts here until I get it down to a point that will stick into the hole in the end of that arbor. And I'm sure that that's not good video, so I'll bring you back when I've got the point made. Well, here we are between centers, and I've got to machine this thing down to fit, hopefully. And it looks like I need more room, doesn't it? Okay. There. Sometimes the tailstock comes out a little bit too close. Alright, I can make it there. So I've got to go to 0.866 thousandths, which is 22 millimeters, at least according to my calipers there. And this thing's about an inch right now, maybe a few thousandths more, so there'll be some cutting along here. I'll let you see a start of the cut, and then I'll blip you ahead there to the end of the cut. How's that? Alright, now this is probably perfect use for my portable DRO. See if it clears, and it does. Alright, make sure it's as straight as we can get it. Alright, so I have put my custom old redneck portable DRO on there. See if I can zoom in for a shot. And I'm going to use that to make sure I stop at the right spot every time. I think that'd be a wonderful idea. Alright, so let me do a little measuring and I'll get right back with you. Sorry about the camera shaking. Alright, I got everything in a good position there, and I've moved it around and it's going to work right, so let's get to it. I've got to cut out 3/10 of an inch off of the diameter, and I've got to cut it back almost 3/4 of an inch, so I'll have a place to put the cutters and a place to put the nut to hold the cutter on. So here we go. I was having trouble getting my tool in between the center and the workpiece there, so I switched over to the lantern tool post, and that should make it easier for me to get in there. I'll have to find the right tool, and then we'll start cutting this thing down again. I'm within probably 60 or 70 thousandths of the final size. My portable DRO has gotten set wrong now from me changing the tool and the tool post. So there we go. Reset it. It's about time to make a check on the size here. Alright, that's 913 thousandths. So we got less than 50 to go. Yeah, I can see that place to put the camera's not going to work out. It's shaking too much. I got to move it. Well, I'm closing in on it, but I'm still possibly about a half a thousandth too big. Alright, let's see if it'll fit that. There we are. That's it. It fits dead on. All we need now is a keyway. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do about that keyway. Well, no, I'll take it back. We don't just need a keyway. We've got to thread this little booger. So, more work than I had anticipated right then. Alright. Back this guy up. And I'll figure out the keyway. Well, I'm in a spot here to where they got to make a decision. I've got I wanted a 3/4 inch 16 thread, which is fine thread, but I went to the hardware store and all I could get was coarse thread, 3/4 inch 10. So now I'm trying to make my mind up. Do I want to make my own nut or not? I really want the fine, and 1/4 inch is as close as you can come on the key. That's a 6mm key, so I'll just have to trim a tiny little bit off this keyway to fit, off the key to fit in the keyway. So you guys take another sip of coffee while I try to figure out whether I'm going with a coarse thread or I'm going to make my own nut. Look at that. Fastenal was just down the street right near the steel supply. I didn't know. It's the first time I've ever been in one of their stores. But there you are, just what I wanted, give or take. I didn't want the nylon, the insert, but I'm going to split this thing down the middle anyway. Let's get on with the threading. Okay, so it's whining time in Texas. The other day I dropped the boss lady's ballpoint pen down beside the, I'm going to move this camera while I'm talking to you, down beside the driver's seat in the truck, and so I got in trouble for that, as you might expect. And so when we got home, I decided I'd dig it out. Well, I shoved the seat all the way back and reached on there, and sure enough there it was, easy to get, and I went bouncing on them in the house, leaving things like they were. And later when we got ready to go somewhere, I came out and I just flopped down in the seat. Well, the seat was no longer as tall as it was before. It was kind of a fall, and when I did, that hurt my back. And so I've been slowed down on this stuff ever since. Sometimes it's painful to move, and I don't know, I may have to go to a doctor about it. And I'm trying not to let it slow up the projects here, but anyway, let's get on with what we're doing. I've got the threading tool turned upside down there. If you'll see, this is the Joe Pye way, and I'm going to thread back this way because it's so much easier to do. I'm going to run the lathe in reverse, and everything's going to be wonderful, we hope. It worked the last time. Alright, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to double check everything's going the right way. Everything's going the right way. Engage the thread gauge dial here. Alright, threading dial is engaged. Okay. And that sounds like it's time to go get a burger. Alright, totally unrelated phone call. Now then, let's get back to it here. We'll make a little scratch here just to be sure everything's lovely, and then we'll start threading. Let's see if that looks right. Well, that's not deep enough scratch. I'm going to have to go back and scratch it a little harder. We'll just tighten her down here just about a couple of thousandths. Then we'll make a scratch. Alright, now then. I believe that's 16 threads per inch. So, we'll go ahead and get started. Give me a break here a second. Alright, now then, back to it. I will make a good cut the first time. I'll have to admit, this takes all the nervousness out of threading, because you're not going to run into anything. You might miss your number, but you're not going to run into anything. I'm using raw oil, but I'm using oil anyway. On call again. Daisy, what's this on the floor? That looks like dog hair, huh? That looks like dog hair, doesn't it? Where did it come from? Huh? Is that your dog hair? Huh? Is that your dog hair? Daisy, where did that dog hair come from? Is that yours? Is it yours? Who's dog? Daisy, tell me. What? Howie? That's Howie's dog hair? You're sure Howie's in California? He's on vacation. You think he's on vacation in Galveston? No, let's look at that dog hair. Let's look at it. That's awful brown. Howie's kind of a white yellow dog. Howie's more white yellow. I don't know. I don't think so. Was that really your dog hair? Huh? Was that really your dog hair? Alright, that's what I thought. You shouldn't try and trick me. Yeah, no, it's not Zeke. Zeke's black. No, Zeke is a black dog. I know, and Howie's in California. That's not his hair. It's the wrong color. It's the wrong color hair. I think it's yours. Alright. Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.